Hello, my loves. Happy Monday. I'm just going to give it a moment, see if anyone's able to join live. How are you? How is your weekend? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you're catching this live or the replay. Just know I'm on my phone and sometimes the comments don't show up, but fingers crossed they will show up today so I can have a beautiful little conversation with you today. So I was feeling a message coming through around owning all parts of yourself and like integrating that shadow. And this is going to be specifically for those of you who are feeling trouble maybe around being seen, resistance around stepping into your soul work. Hello to whoever's hopping on. It's not showing me who, but welcome. Thanks for joining me. And like, the resistance you feel because you're not giving yourself permission to be all of who you are, and you're letting current circumstances or past circumstances define you. And so then I got out and bear with me while I do this one-handed, I got out my Work Your Light Oracle deck, and it opened up too. When I split the deck, I was like, I don't even need to pull cards. Align your life and longing for home, belonging, the original light worker. So I'm just going to not really focus on the cards, but I'll read them to you a little bit later, but I just want to chit chat about this. So what's coming through is it's like needing to integrate those parts of you that you feel aren't lovable, the parts of you that you feel you're like, oh, I can't step into more. I can't claim this for myself. I can't XYZ, fill in the blank, because of, then fill in the blank with the excuse, right? It's all the ways we hold ourselves back. It's all the BS stories we have going on that are really just lies. They're not true. And it's like the part of you that you're actually so afraid of, that if you could just love and accept and sit with and integrate that part of you, things would actually flow. So what's coming through here with the align your life, let me read the card here. It says, what is not aligned or needs to change? And if you can see the graphic on here, it's like you can't really see her face. You can't see her beauty. You can't really see who she is because she's fragmented. And so where this happens, sorry, my dog's sitting right here on my lap. I'm going to try to get comfortable so I can rest my hand on my arm on my knees here. So what happens when we go through any type of trauma, and whether or not you feel like you're a traumatized person or not, stick with me because I'm going to explain this, because we all go through this in some type of way in childhood, some of us more obviously than others, is, anytime there's something that's traumatizing to us, meaning we feel that we're not allowed to be all of us, it's not safe to be all of us, a little piece of our soul fragments, and it's like this little part of ourselves that we abandon. It's this part of ourselves that we label as not good enough, or it's not safe to be that, or you feel embarrassment or shame or fear. Okay, and this can be as seemingly small as being bullied on the playground, or it can be like you grew up in a very abusive family, or you've experienced some really severe trauma. Anything, and every child goes through this. So it's like these little parts of you that you've kept locked away. If you're like, so let me use myself as an example. In my 20s, I'm in my early 30s now. In my 20s, I was like crazy. I was wild. I was like crazy party girl, so it's like, it took me a lot of self-love and inner work and like really owning the things I've done, and also like the trauma I've experienced. I had a lot of trauma growing up, so there was like all these little parts of me that I felt unworthy about, and it took a lot of integration. It took a lot of love. It took a lot of patience for me to feel safe to step into my soul work. I'm pretty bougie. I would say I'm pretty bougie. I like luxury. I love beauty. I used to have my business before my coaching business was a skincare business. I did spray tan, teeth whitening, photo facials. Like, I love all the beauty treatments. I do all my own beauty treatments still at home. But then when I got into spirituality, I was like, oh, like in this yoga community, like, oh, I have to be like a dirty hippie, I can't wear makeup, you know, and nothing, I am a little bit of a hippie too, you know, it's nothing wrong with any of it. It's just like, you get to be all of you. Like, you don't need to choose. That's a really lack mentality, and that's really based on people pleasing. And it's like essentially all the ways that we self-abandon, right? All these little boxes that we try to fit in. It's like every time, you know, in childhood or then even thereafter, where people try to hold you to an old version of yourself and tell you, well, you can't be this because, well, how can you be in this community when you used to be a party girl, or how can you step into this career when you've been doing this your whole life, right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like all these parts of you. And if you're commenting, it's not showing any. So if for some reason you're commenting and I'm missing it, I will come back after the live and have a beautiful conversation with you. So it's really asking you to take a look at like, where are you not owning all parts of yourself? Because what happens when we have this soul fragmentation is it's the parts of us that we're disowning because we don't feel they're good enough, or the parts of us that we're not allowing ourselves to own and claim and step into because of like current circumstances or what's happened in the past. And what that does is it really scatters our energy, right? You're not aligned. So you'll hear in the coaching world a lot, we're talking about aligning your energy and flowing and letting it be easy. And it does get to do that. It does get to flow. It does get to be easy, but after we've done the alignment work. And I know a lot of people get confused about what does alignment actually mean. And really, in the most simplest of terms, it means giving yourself permission to be your full self, being your most true, authentic self. And that sounds easy, but for a lot of us, you know, we're confused. What does that even look like, right? Especially when you're like shifting in a big way and you're trying to give yourself permission to step into something and become someone that you've never been before. You know, all the ego's old stories are going to come up of why it's not possible, of why you're not worthy of it, of why it conflicts with X, Y, Z. I mean, fill in the blank. It will come up with anything and everything. And it's like understanding that if something's on your heart, it's because it's who you're here to be. It's something you're here to experience. And it's really doing that unifying within yourself and your energy. And a lot of this will be, some of it will be obvious, right? Obvious fears that come up. And sometimes it will be these blockages that are actually super annoying because it's something that you think you worked through, but there's a deeper layer that needs to be worked through. Some of the stuff is ingrained very deeply into our subconscious mind, and it can be very difficult to see it. That's actually one of my gifts. I see very, very deeply into people, which some people actually really don't like it. This was part of my self-love journey. I had to really own my gifts and understand that I have a very intense energy. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a projector in human design. So Scorpio, I do all the deep inner alchemy. I do all of that shadow work down in the underworld. And as a projector, I can feel and read energy like that. I can see what people don't even see about themselves. So especially in this business, I had to not take it personally when I began to realize that I'm here for a specific group of people, a specific type of person, right? Like, I'm not going to attract someone who's surface level, like, oh, just give me a formula for manifesting. No, I attract the women who are like, I want you to see into me. I want you to tell me what I'm not seeing. I want to see it because I want to integrate it. So it's just like owning all parts of you. And I love that it came out with this card about longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. And I'm not going to get out the book and try to read the definitions because I'm holding my my phone with one hand here, but I know this deck pretty well. And that card specifically talks about how, as a light worker, as someone with a spiritual mission, you come to earth with a double mission. One is to and one of that is to raise the vibration of the collective, right? So it's to be in service. Sure, it's here to create what you want to create and experience life as a human and experience all of the things, all of the senses, right? Like, not making one experience good or bad, right? So this ties into like not, you know, loving your past versions of yourself, not making yourself wrong for having been where you've been and mean that means you can't go where you're going. I see a lot of people being stuck in this. This is why I'm speaking up about this a lot, because I see a lot of women being called to step into their soul work, but feeling fear around it, feeling not worthy, feeling like, oh, who am I to switch and do this all of a sudden? And the thing to understand is when you come to earth with a specific mission to do something, whether it appears to be deeply spiritual or superficial, it's your soul calling. It's not spiritual or not spiritual, right? It's like really owning who you are. When you have that, you've trained lifetimes for it. This is part of what's encoded in your soul. Like, you are more than qualified. And so a lot of the people sorry, it's coming through really fast. Let me slow down. The hurdle that a lot of people are needing to jump over, they're like feeling blocked by, is, well, the 3D timeline, right? They're like, oh, well, do I need 1 million degrees and certifications for this? Or who's going to believe me? Or can I have been doing this one thing for so long and then switch what I'm doing or my messaging or whatever? And it's like, yes, be all of you. And stop thinking you need to choose, right? Stop splitting your energy by not owning all of you. And for those of you specifically who have a business, I guarantee you that the parts of you that you are kind of locking away and throwing out the key because you're like, don't want to go there, don't want to see it. And the part of you that you think is not lovable, when you're doing that, even it's like it can be felt energetically, and it will show up as a blockage. It will show up sometimes as not getting clients, of not being seen, or of not fully owning your gifts because you're not fully owning yourself. So this is an invitation to really take a look at those things, those parts of you that you feel are not enough, that you feel are not okay, the parts of you that feel like you're not qualified, the part of you that maybe feels like you're flaky, or like, I don't know, whatever it is. Like, take a look at it and be willing to sit with it. Hello, Serafina, welcome. It's so lovely to connect with you. I'm glad the messages are coming through. Like, really owning that, because sometimes it's like, yes, coming out to the world and saying, this is me, these are my skills, these are my unique gifts. But sometimes it's a lot more subtle than that. Sometimes it's just this internal shift of you seeing it and being willing to own it and drop the stories about it because they're just not true. That is enough to shift your energy, and then what gets to show up for you shifts too. So, I mean, self-love is a term that's very overused, but it's been my experience that nothing will heal and shift your life like self-love. And self-love is going deep. Self-love is doing that deep introspection, that deep work, sitting with those parts of you that you haven't wanted to look at. Being willing to see, what pain, what programming am I holding on to that's maybe not even mine? Maybe it's generational and I don't even see it because it's in my blind spot, but it's this program that's like running my life. And the way you can know is really by how things are flowing in your life. And this is not an invitation to judge yourself, not at all. It's just when you're getting the feedback of things aren't flowing, things aren't going the way I want them to, I feel like I'm going uphill, this feels more difficult than it needs to be. It's always just a sign that there's parts of you that are looking to be loved and integrated and held and accepted. It's really loud. And yeah, it's the last part I'll say. Sorry, it's so much info is coming through. I'm clairaudient, for those of you who may be new. So sometimes I get overwhelmed with messages and I'm working on slowing down to get them all out. Sometimes it's just like, woo, so many things. Allowing yourself to really fully see yourself, because the things that we don't want to look at, the things that we may not even be consciously aware there, the reason we're keeping them at an arm's length is because deep down on some level, we're afraid that we're not going to like what we see. We're afraid that it makes us unlovable. We're afraid that it makes us not qualified. We're afraid that it makes us not worthy. We're afraid of something along those lines. But I have never, ever found a part of me that wasn't fully lovable. And I have never seen a client feel that. I've never seen a part of a client that I don't, or another person or a friend or a family member that isn't lovable at the core. So this is really, really And that's the biggest illusion that will keep you from seeing it. So it's like this illusion, that this fear of, oh, I don't want to look because maybe I'm going to find something that's not okay. And I can't emotionally handle that. So let me play surface level. Let me be scattered. Let me not fully be myself. Let me not fully own my desires. Let me not fully step into what I'm here to do, because that's less painful than taking a deeper look and discovering something that's potentially not lovable. But that's the biggest illusion, because it's all lovable. You are pure love. And I've never seen someone do this work and not come out better, bolder, stronger, more empowered, more loving, more compassionate on the other side. You get to be all of you. So look at, where are you fragmenting your life? Where are you like not giving yourself permission to be all that you want to be? Like, do you need to own that you want more luxury and flow in your life? Do you need to own that you get to be beautiful and be taken seriously? Do you get to own that you get to have had a crazy past and do spiritual work? Like, what is it that you need to own? And how can you work on loving yourself right where you are? You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to want to change. You're allowed to want to expand and grow and still fully love yourself right now. And in fact, that's the only way. So long as we are, I'm seeing all the hearts. I'm glad this is resonating. This was coming through so strong. So I know someone needed to hear it. You know, like, you're allowed to be all of it. And until you love yourself right where you are, and love your past, and love what you're calling in, it's not going to flow. So you are the key. You are the portal. It happens through you right here in the now. And that's how you quantum manifest, my love. That's how you collapse time, by owning all of you right here, right now. Because you're creating your future based off of your now. So you have all of the power. And this is what I teach, and this is what I love leading women through, because this is, oh good, I'm so glad it was for you. You are so welcome. Because this is where the true magic begins to unfold. This is where manifestation becomes easy. This is where it's like, it's not even about the things, it's about who you become. So if you are interested in this, my loves, if you would like to learn more about this and take it deeper, I invite you to reach out to me. The link in my bio has all of my different offers. Right now I'm enrolling for Desire Queen. This is a quantum manifestation group program where I help you collapse time by embodying all of you and really embodying your next level version who receives it all, because you're generating all of it. You know, we're not victims. We get to choose. And when you decide, when you make a firm decision and you fully back it, no matter what's going on around you, and you commit to doing, you know, those daily little micro shifts every single day to really align and embody who you want to be, while simultaneously going to your past and healing and integrating anything that needs to, and calling in more and loving where you're at. When you do that, you become unstoppable. You are a force to be reckoned with. And when you hold that kind of energy and you're harnessing your energy and you're aligning instead of being in the split energy, that's where all your power is. And we know with manifestation and these laws of the universe, how when we understand how this works, we understand that life always matches what we're holding. So when you're not manifesting what you want, it's because you're not holding all of you. Likely you're like kind of going back and forth between parts and deciding, thinking you're deciding and then doubting, and it's like, no, you have to fully back yourself. And this is where my area of expertise is, in helping you really see and claim all parts of you, do the healing, do the alignment work, build your faith, really hold it and really align. And I love supporting women in this way, because when you feel fully supported, and when you actually can really own everything your soul's trying to tell you, you manifest big shit. And it really, really works. And I just love empowering women in that way. So we have Desire Queen. That is my group program. I also have Voxer mentoring. It's like a group mentoring, but you also get some one-on-one sessions with that. And I also have private one-on-one mentoring. And I have some beautiful self-study courses. So there are lots of ways. I love connecting with new women. It's been beautiful to see some more of you on here today. So thank you for joining me. It's been wonderful to connect connect with you. If you have any questions or would like to just chat a little further, feel free to message me. I love learning how I can support you. Have a beautiful day. I would love to hear in the comments how this resonated. Like, let us know below. Declare it. Put it out there. What parts of you are you committed to holding and to owning? Like, what are you claiming from your past or for your future? What are you claiming? What are you going to hold? There's so much power in that. I'm sending you so much love. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will connect with you soon. Bye.